Welcome to the Grizz Pulse podcast, your backstage pass to everything Memphis basketball. Now, here are your hosts, Harrison Smith, Wilson Mefford, and Trip Fisher. Let's get it.
Welcome back to another episode of Grizz Pulse, episode 4 here on the podcast channel. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I'm here with my co-hosts Trip Fisher and Wilson Mefford up there in the corner. We're coming to you after a good week of Grizzlies basketball. The boys went 3-1. And they were playing some good basketball. Had some tough comeback wins, but you played really good all week. You had wins against the Pelicans, Clippers, Kings, and then a heartbreaking loss to the Spurs. Had some questionable decision making in that game. And then we're going to talk about some coaching aspects that we like or don't like, and then we're also going to jump into some Ja Morant news that just came out. So let's jump right into the week.
Review!
Let's go. All right, so first off, we started with the Pelicans game and an overtime win. That was a big win. I felt like the week, if you would have lost that game, the week kind of could have gone any way. You know, you would have gone on to play the Clippers after that, and that could have been a rough game. But So to start, they won that game in overtime. The Grizzlies were down 17 at one point, so they had a major comeback. And it was honestly kind of the bench unit that kind of got them back into that game. But early on, it was super frustrating, a frustrating watch because it felt like the Pelicans couldn't miss. At least in the first half, it felt like they weren't missing. I mean, at one point, they were shooting 50% from three, and you're like, when is this going to stop? And it felt like it never stopped. We had a good game from Jaren. He had 27, 5, and 2, and it was 9 of 23. You kind of saw that more aggressive Jaren there in the Pelicans game. And then Wells had 25 and was 9 for 11 from the field. And then Vince Williams Jr. had 17 assists and set a career high. It was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. I think Vince is like really finding his groove with like assists. Like he had one career high earlier in the season and then got another career high. And it's really helping this team. Even though he's not getting like a lot of points, he's still like finding Wells and Jaren, and I mean Edie is just down there in the paint, and sometimes he'll just throw it down to him. But yeah, 17 assists is big.
Yeah, I mean, I will say he did have 6 turnovers to go along with it, but considering he's not used to getting 35 minutes in a game, obviously went to overtime, so it's going to be a little inflated. But, like, dude only took 6 shots. We didn't really need him to be out there shooting a bunch. Jaren actually, did what you wanted to out of your guy you're paying, freaking like $50 million a year. And he shot 23 shots. And he, only hit 9 of them, but he got to the free throw line a lot. Hit some big threes. I think all around it was a solid game. I think the bench really was like the savior throughout the whole week, dude. Like,
yeah,
having quality production off the bench like we have, dude, it's so good.
I think we have the highest scoring bench in the NBA.
So good.
Yeah, it's really
good. Something else is Coward really didn't have an efficient week. He was I think Tripp said 1 for 16 earlier from 3, which is not good, but I mean, he's not going to shoot 1 for 16. We know he's not going to do that. But, even in this Pelicans game, you see that even when he's not having the most efficient night, he can still make an impact. And he had 12 points, which it wasn't very efficient 12 points. And then he had 9 rebounds and 4 assists. And you kind of see once you get in the fourth quarter, Coward wants the ball in his hands. He does not shy away from the big moment. He wants to take the shots, and he's even going to wave off some guys and to get to his shot. But now let's move down to that Clippers game. This is a close game and another big comeback for the Grizz.
Yeah. So we got the dub, 112 to 107. I think Edie really stepped up for us in this. Had 19 boards against Zubac. I mean, that's a pretty good center in the NBA. And I mean, Jaren had 24. It's pretty good. Vince actually did score a ton. in this game, had 16. And then Cam Spencer played pretty good as well. He had 10 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. But again, like we also had a lot of turnovers. I feel like that's been a big problem. Turnovers and fouls are a big problem on this team. Coward was 3 for 10, only had 7 points. But I feel like this was a pretty good win for the Grizzlies though, because I feel like the Clippers are a pretty talented team. Kawhi and James Harden have been playing pretty good. Kawhi had 39, but Edey limited. Zubac had only 9. Harden had 23. But overall, I think this is a pretty good win for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I do think Zubac hasn't been playing as good this year. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's been a problem that they've had with him. But it was nice to see him get locked up in our game.
Yeah, I think the Clippers are like 5-16 or something, but it doesn't feel like that when they have Kawhi and Harden. When they're healthy, the sky's the limit for that team, honestly. But they might have fallen too far behind. It's going to be tough for them to get in a good spot. But
I still can't believe they signed Bradley Beal, bro.
Yeah,
he's out for the year already.
Tore his ACL the first 2 weeks of the season.
They're just gonna hand the Thunder a top 4 pick.
And they just released Chris Paul. That was kind of weird.
Man, that's so dumb. I hate that.
I know. He announced he's retiring, and then he gets waived. But he'll probably get picked up by another team.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I heard him and Ty Lue weren't on speaking terms the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
bro.
Whatever. But can sit out.
Yeah, but honestly, the first 2 games of the week felt like really. You honestly played really bad in the first half in both of those games. I think you're probably trailing by double digits going into the second half. I don't know if that's 100% true, but you definitely came back from some big deficits. And honestly, if those 2 games would have been switched, we're coming into here pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
But now let's jump down to that Kings game. The Grizzlies got another close win on the road and took it to a 3-game winning streak.
Yep. Big win on the road. I was a little worried about how that would come into play. Just a 4-game road series, even though you're playing literally the 3 worst teams in the West record-wise. But, dude, we got it done again, and it was another big fourth quarter for us that kind of allowed us to – which is kind of been the flip of how it's been for most of the year. Like, feels like a lot of time. And let's go look at the Thunder game, for example, right? Great first half. Absolutely horrible in the second half. Couldn't get a thing going. And then walking into Sacktown, getting the big dub.
Sacktown.
Yep. 32 points in the fourth quarter, held them to 20. I think we really just played good defense. And for me, obviously, this was Edey's legacy game. Or we just call him Mini Yao. We got Mini Kawhi, Mini Yao on the same team.
Yeah, for real.
32, 17, 5 blocks, 6 offensive rebounds. Absolute masterclass from the dude. Played amazing defense. Just absolutely played out of his mind. Wells played good in this one too. He had 15, 3 for 3 from 3. I think I predicted Wells as a player of the week, and I think
you did.
But we haven't decided on that yet. But I think
we'll get to that one later.
Everybody in your lineup. Starting lineup scored double digits, except for Vince. He did go 0 for 8, so he struggled. He struggled to shoot the ball anymore. It's all good though because he still had 7 assists, still played all right, especially on defense. And yeah, KCP actually also played well, which is nice to see out of the guy that you just got kind of throw away from the Orlando trade.
Yeah, KCP. Wow, KCP played a good first three games of the week. And then the Spurs game, he was pretty bad. But still, it was good to see. It was you kind of felt like you were getting the vintage KCP there for a second. And also, Edey in this Kings game, dude, I thought I was watching Purdue Zach Edey. Tennessee fans might want to close their ears when I say that.
Up, dude.
But,
as much as I hate it, but it helps the Grizzlies.
I remember when he got picked in the draft, all the UT fans were like, "This is an awful pick. This is an awful pick." But now
I wanted Dog Connect, but it's worked out for us.
all the delusional Tennessee fans,
I think the big story of this game was the rebound. We rebounded them by a significant amount, like almost 20. Hey, and if Jaren doesn't want to get rebounds, he doesn't want to get himself hurt down there doing any dirty work in the paint. He just wants to shoot dumb shots, except from the Spurs game where he's going to do nothing for you. But whatever, we'll get to that. If he can just get 20 rebounds a game, I guess that's our rebounding right there. That's all we need. So
Yeah, I know. But something for honestly all four of these games, but mainly the first three because you won those games. Cam Spencer has come alive in the fourth quarter every single one of those games. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I need to go look later and go look at like how many points he's averaging in the fourth quarter over the last like couple games because he's got to be averaging at least like 6 or 7. You know.
No, yeah, especially like in the last like few minutes of the fourth quarter specifically, like when we needed it the most. Yeah, he's been really good. Honestly, he's kind of turned into like a little bit of a. I'm not gonna say mini Tyus Jones because we already have so many minis, but like he is. He's playing really well.
Yeah, but that was definitely a good win there to keep the momentum going into the Spurs game. And honestly, I thought you had a really good chance to win this Spurs game, and then you kind of had a collapse late in the fourth quarter, and I was definitely very frustrated. And if anybody that follows the Instagram knows I was very frustrated with some of the coaching decisions down the stretch. But yeah, I thought the guys played good, except Jaren was absolutely awful. I think he had 6 turnovers or something, and you just can't have that from your star.
He had 5.
He had 5. How many shots did he take? If you're looking at it right now,
he had 9. He went 3 for 9.
Yeah,
and
I mean
0 for 4 from 3.
But he had like 7 points in the fourth.
That's just awful. Like you can't have your star guy taking 9 shots and 4 of them from the 3-point line. I mean, Jaren can get hot sometimes for 3, but you want your star player that is known for scoring in the paint to get downhill and go score in the paint. But then once again, I feel like we've said this is our second time saying this year, but Harrison Barnes is just a Grizzlies killer.
Wait, I think you meant to say prime Michael Jordan, right?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Disguised as Harrison Barnes.
What do they call him? Mr. 100% or something?
Dude, God, I don't know, man.
When he hit that fadeaway 3, like just in front of Coward's face, I was like, bro, this guy.
Yeah, sometimes they got hot, you just can't do anything about it. But I thought I was watching the Golden State Warriors, and what was that, like 2016 when he was on their team? No,
yeah.
Or one of those teams where he was just on one. But yeah, it was bad. But, the Grizzlies showed a lot of life late. I think they went up 8 in the fourth quarter, 8 or 7. But
yeah.
But they definitely showed some life, and that's good. And you're not going to win all those close games. I mean, we won 3 close games back to back to back, and sometimes the cookie doesn't crumble your way. So sometimes you just got to keep moving and keep looking forward. But now let's jump into the Grizz Pulse topic of the week. We kind of got 3 little mini segments this week. First, we're going to talk about the coaching. Then we're going to talk about some recent Ja things that ESPN posted that were kind of interesting. And then we're also going to look at former Grizzly Desmond Bane has kind of been going off for the Magic recently. So we'll talk about that for a second. But first, let's start off with the head coach of the Grizzlies. I don't want him as a head coach anymore. Just going to say that. Coach Iisalo.
Yeah, I mean, that Spurs game, it was pretty pitiful coaching. Like, I think one of our groups, like, had us up. What'd you say, Harry? Like, we were up, like.
It was like 5. No, it was 7 minutes left, and it was 108 to 101. And someone got fouled, and there were 4 people at the scoring table, and they get 4 people got subbed out. And I was like, dude, that group just gained you so much momentum, and then you take it all away by putting in a whole new unit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Wells was playing phenomenal, and like he had 2. He was 2 for 3 from 3, and I feel like that and 1 3 was really really big, and then he got subbed out of the game, and I think we put in KCP. And then I think that kind of started the run. And I was like, dude, what are we doing? Like, and we played Prosper. He only played 7 minutes, but he did fine. That at the end of the third quarter, he tried getting like a dumb shot up. And like Ja went over to go talk to him, like, hey, you're only playing 7 minutes for a reason. Like, pass it out to like Cam or something. But anyway, I think There was a lot of dumb stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something that Iisalo needs to grow on is I think he stays extremely true to his rotations, and he's gonna play he's gonna play his rotations no matter what, no matter if someone's hot, no matter if someone's cold, he's gonna stick to that rotation. And I think that's something you've got to grow on. I mean, basketball is like such a flowy game that it's like sometimes some things are gonna work and sometimes they're not. Like for example, I thought every time Edie came off the floor, it felt like the Spurs went on a run, and the Spurs were without Wemby, so. And every time Edie would come out, Landale would go in. And I was thinking the whole time, man, I wish we would just go small for a unit when they don't have Cornette in, because they were lacking size. So why not go small and kind of try and run with them when Landale really didn't affect the game that much?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna say, I've said it before, but like I want to see 5 to 10 games with Ja running the offense. Hopefully a mostly healthy Ja running his offense. That's why I brought him in. This guy's had success coaching, obviously not in the NBA yet, as a head coach, but I think there's definitely it's a learning kind of curve for him too. And I would hate for us to go out and just like fire him right now, because like it's definitely not a throwaway season. And I would hate for us to do another midseason firing, and then end up just kind of having to throw the season away.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know. I think part of the problem is definitely the rotations, not having the guys healthy, need to be healthy. And then also, like, to an extent, like, some of it's not on him. I mean, we closed out the 3. I don't know. You could make an argument that we won those previous 3 games not because of good coaching, but in spite of it. But, I mean, if Jaren's going to drop 7 points, you're lucky to even, like, lose to the Spurs by less than double digits. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that we did, frankly.
Yeah.
I just think part of that has got to be having your guys step up and play well when it matters. And we've seen that. We saw it the first 3 games. We just didn't see it against the Spurs. I'm not gonna overreact necessarily yet. I still think definitely there's frustrating things that he does. Also, just wanted to clear this up since we're talking about most of the Spurs game right now. Zach Edey and what's his name? Jeremy Sohan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Edey wins that fight 10 times out of 10. It's not even close.
I
don't know what he was doing.
I don't know what. So
thinking he was going to take him
on that one.
I don't know, man. I really wanted to see Edey like throw a punch and just like knock him out, man.
Oh yeah, what was he thinking, bro? Like,
I don't know.
Heaviest and tallest player in the league.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but to kind of get back on the coaching thing, I'm saying I don't actually think Iisalo should be fired right now. I think that wouldn't be fair to him, and that wouldn't be fair to your season to not let him coach with your like core group of guys healthy. I don't think that'd be very fair to him. But I'm just saying, I just think that, and it's not only in this game. I think the subbing patterns have been like you've got to look at the flow of the game sometimes and kind of make subs based off of that. And then last night you had one player get to 30 minutes last game. I mean, at some point you've got to let that go, and you've got to play some guys down the stretch that need to be played. I mean, Edey played 30 minutes, and if you go look around the league, 30 minutes is not a lot for one of your best players on your team. 30 minutes is not a lot at all. Honestly, the only time we saw a good minutes being given out to your players was in the Pelicans game, and that was an OT. And I think if I'm looking at it, Edey played 35, Jaren played 36. Like that's the type of minutes I want to see them playing in regulation, not including overtime.
Yeah, I mean, Jaren did play a pretty bad game. Like, it's understandable that he only gets 27 minutes, but
I think part of that was foul trouble too. I'm not gonna lie for this game.
It definitely
both
was.
Edey and Jaren had 5. Jaren has taken. I mean, dude, that's like been his Achilles heel, man. Just fouls for so long. Dude, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm saying most of this off the Spurs game, but I mean, still, if you go look over just most of the games, I mean, you rarely get a guy over 32 or 33 minutes, and that's
he likes to run a lot of guys in there, a lot of guys out.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's going to change once we get hopefully at some point Ty Jerome coming back, and then Ja obviously will be back hopefully sooner. But
Yeah.
maybe that will consolidate the minutes a little bit. We won't see as much John Conchar, who actually played well against the Spurs, but every time he's out there, I just hate it because I don't like him on defense at all.
Yeah.
But
yeah, same.
I don't know.
Now after talking about that, let's kind of jump over to a story that ESPN posted today that was kind of interesting and kind of a surprise. So they posted a 13 picture something on Ja Morant, Trae Young, and LaMelo Ball, kind of just talking about their trade stock and what other teams think about them. And we're gonna hone in on the comments that were made about Ja. So the first one was by an anonymous Eastern Conference executive, said Ja is a pain in the you-know-what blank. We'll leave that one blank right there. He said he's injury prone and he's not that good anymore. Then a Western Conference executive said, either you're declining at a rapidly fast rate or you've quit on this coach. Another Western Conference scout said, has Ja already lost his pop? When was the last time we saw him put his chin above the rim? And then the last one I'll talk about is, this one was kind of uplifting to Ja, but when this Western Conference executive was talking about the three guys as a whole, and he said, I think Ja's the one who can maybe be saved. If he's got to prove that he can play to get paid again, you can get him. So kind of the overall consensus is that, some teams might not want to trade for Ja right now because he's kind of a pain. He doesn't play, and, sometimes he's not mentally in the right spot.
Yeah. I think I agree. He's not the same player that he was a couple of years ago, and he's very injury prone. But I don't really know where this is kind of coming from. He's been hurt, so he hasn't really had a chance to prove himself in a while. But it really depends on how he plays when he comes back. I think Wilson said, I really need to see how he plays 5 games with the new coach and everybody healthy. But I think I'm kind of higher on Ja than I am Melo. I think I'm kind of even with Trae Young, because Trae Young's also been hurt for a while, so we haven't really seen him this season. But yeah, I think I'd rather have Ja than Melo right now.
Yeah, Mef, what do you think?
I think we're talking about Trae Young, Ja, LaMelo. All those guys kind of have the same thing in common. They're not playing like they should be. They're struggling with different things.
And they're all in trade rumors also.
And they're all on trade rumors, which I hate that. I feel like half of that is just the media wanting Ja out of Memphis because they don't want Memphis to have a quote unquote star, even though I don't know if he really fits that category right now. I think I want to see, definitely kind of like Tripp said, coming off this injury, I want to see a motivated Morant. I want it to be prime Ja, but even better. I want him to just take over for us, go win us game, go play well every area of his game to be looking good. I want him to play like he used to, bro. There's something to be said for having a guy on your team that's exciting, very exciting to watch. I think you could have made the argument that there was a time when he was one of the most, if not the most exciting players to watch in the league. And it just feels like we kind of got away from that. And if there's any way that he comes back and plays like that, dude, that's what I want to see. And I think if you don't see it this season, you're probably not going to see it again, which is kind of sad. But he's definitely had his struggles with things off the court, taking away from basketball. And then also, I mean, kind of a common thing. You get that bread and then the play goes down the drain. It's just if you're getting paid $200 million plus your Nike $250 million, then why do you have to play good? You don't really. You're getting that money no matter what. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
I really don't want him to be like a Derrick Rose like type situation. Like people compare him to Derrick Rose all the time with how he plays, but like if he's like, I mean, Derrick Rose tore his ACL, and I think people can agree that he wasn't like the same MVP type caliber after he came back from that injury. I really hope we don't have that type of situation with Ja. I hope he gets back to his normal self at some point, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think
like
kind of what Meph said about the money thing is I'm a little scared you're seeing that with Jaren. You know, he get paid a ton and then kind of fading out, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But also in response to this, Ja put on a story a couple hours ago, a picture of those three guys and said, strange times out here, stay woke. And then on another story it says, focus on the mission. You know, you can kind of take two different approaches to this on what Ja's thinking. Like, is Ja like pouting and saying like, oh, it's always me, like they're always picking on me and stuff? Or do you think Ja's putting his head down and ready to get to work?
Well, we know Ja has been kind of stupid on social media in the past. But like,
Really? How?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, I feel like what you kind of said is what he's doing right now. He's kind of pouting right now. Like people are talking bad about him, and he doesn't like that. But I mean, you're in the NBA. You're making a ton of money. I don't know why he would be really upset about that. Just go out there and prove him wrong. Like that's like the main thing you got to do for this franchise. But I mean, if you don't, then sorry, we'll look into trading you.
You know what? Here's what I think. I think I'm gonna be the positive guy. All right. I think before the injury, Ja was kind of focusing on his poor play. I think he's frustrated at the circumstances, frustrated with the coaching, all that stuff. I think the injury happened, and I think that he's kind of locked more in onto like doing things for this team outside of like playing. You've seen him. There's been many clips that the media won't show you, but clips of him coaching guys up on the bench, being active, being involved, kind of like we saw when he got injured a couple seasons ago, and then he came back. He wants to play, like he wants to be in Memphis, and so my hope, obviously, I don't know this. I don't know Ja personally, sadly, but I'm thinking that this is him saying, we've got a mission, we've got a team that is in a spot where we are able to make at least the play-in. And if he comes back and plays like prime Ja, we're making the playoffs. I think we've got a mission. We've got one team. We're united. I think we're gonna see him come back and play like we want to see him play. I think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying it's crazy that you're seeing three guys who were at one time like the future stars of the NBA having this stuff said about them. But I think he's saying, stuff that, block that noise out. I'm locked in on the Grizzlies. That's what I think he's saying. Oh, Harrison's on mute.
Mike.
My bad.
Mike,
check it out. I know y'all think that quality is good, but let's go ahead and talk about Bane and he's kind of been playing out of his mind recently. But let's talk about this real quick.
I miss Bane. Like I brought my Bane jersey to college, even though he got traded. But I think out of like our group that we hung out with, I think Bane was probably one of our favorite players. And part of me likes seeing him succeed on the Magic. He just had back-to-back 37 points, which is the first time that's happened since Tracy McGrady for the Magic. I mean, he started off kind of slower, but he's really bounced back. And since Banchero's been kind of hurt, they've kind of leaned towards him a little bit. But yeah, he would definitely make a difference on our team right now. I feel like we don't really have that 3-point shooting like we did last year. But yeah, I don't know. I miss Bane.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely sucks because I know he was a great player and stuff, but he was definitely the leader of that group last year, and it kind of, I think some of the struggles early to have been adjusting to that lack of leadership, but I think they'll figure that out for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and jump down to Pulse Check. Pulse Check, baby. Let's go. Pulse Check is where we look ahead into the week ahead of us, Grizzlies. And this week they only play 2 games, so kind of a light week. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at those matchups. So to start off on Friday this week, they play the Clippers at home. They play the Clippers again, the 5-16 Clippers. Oh no, we're going to be super scared about this game. Just kidding. All the Clippers will probably be hurt and heading to the nursery home after this game. So, what do y'all think about this game?
I think we're gonna pack them up, send them to the old folks' home. It's gonna be a W. Kawhi might still drop 50 on us, but they suck. Zubac sucks. We're gonna get that W. It's not a rivalry anymore. They suck so much. Just it used to have like some fire to it, but yeah.
Yeah, I think this is Dub City. If we can't win this game at home, then I don't know, but I want to be surprised, but I feel like this should be a dub after how we played against them when they were healthy. But yeah, I think if Edie he probably will have another crazy game. But I really want Jaren to also step up in this game.
Yeah. All jokes aside, I really do think this game could be closer than we may think. A healthy Clippers team is not a bad basketball team at all. Kawhi gave us buckets last game and we hardly won. I think they could they're really well coached by Tyronn Lue, and then they got one of the Van Gundys on the sideline that's a really good defensive coach. So they could definitely, give us fits on defense at least. I think they could throw some weird things at Edie that he may have never seen, or Jaren even. But then on Sunday, you have another home game against the 8-13 Trailblazers.
We do.
Yeah, this is a young team. They lost their coach early in the season because of for reasons that I don't know if we're allowed to touch on.
Yeah, we are. Again, he was gambling illegally. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. I mean, that's confirmed. Yeah.
But this is a young team, and they started off really hot, and I think they've kind of been slumping a little bit. But you got them at home, and hopefully the energy in Memphis this week will kind of be pretty positive, coming off a good week. And I think you could catch both of these teams, and you could be looking at a 11-13 team when we come back.
Yeah.
Yep. As long as Denny Avdia doesn't cook us against.
Yeah, which he has definitely done in the past. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that we go 2-0 this week, and we come back as happy Grizz Pulsers.
I'll agree. 2-0. We got to go 2-0. Got to get to 11-13. That sounds a lot better than 15-9 or 9-15.
Yep. Yeah. I think we're gonna go 1-1. I think we're gonna lose to the Blazers. I think Avdia's gonna go crazy, but hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too.
You haven't been wrong yet.
You haven't been wrong yet. And on that note, let's go ahead and talk about.
That's not true. I think I predicted 4-0, like the first episode. So.
Oh yeah, I think you did. But yeah, Meth hasn't been wrong on Grizz Pulse Player of the Week. Meth moves to 2-0 against me and Tripp, and he took Jalen Wells last week, and we saw that Jalen Wells kind of looked more like sophomore season Jalen Wells, and he was giving people buckets.
Yeah.
Meth, what do you got to say about that win right there?
I mean, it's just what we do here. It's expected at this point. And with all that said, Cam Spencer is going to be the next player of the week. He's going to ball out these 2 games. Just what you expect out of him. So just when we come back and I'm 3-0 next week, we'll be talking about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can disagree with you, but not sadly, I'm actually very excited about this pick. I'm taking Zach Edey. We're taking the big Zamboni here in week 4 of Grizz Pulse, and I'm pretty excited about that because Edey's looked unstoppable these last 4 games.
Yeah. I'm going to take the player of the week last week. I'm going to go Jalen Wells.
Wow.
Shooting a lot better. Dude, I got to get a win. Like, I predicted 4-0 last week. That almost worked, but it didn't. And then Cam Spencer played good last week, but he didn't bring it home for me. But yeah, I think Wells could play good against these 2 teams.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope Zach Edey performs how he's been performing, and I can bring home that Grizz Pulse the Player of the Week for the first time, and start catching up to Meth on these rankings. But thank you all for listening to Grizz Pulse on this Week 4 episode. It was a pleasure, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Grizz Pulse podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure to follow, drop us a rating, and tap that follow on all the socials. We appreciate you rocking with us. Catch you on the next episode.